Okay, here is your Sunday nugget. We are actually a third of the way through this winter session. Can you believe it? Time goes by so fast. So I'm really impressed with everyone's consistency, dedication, and discipline. And for those of you who are struggling, do not feel bad. It's never too late to get going. Remember, I am progressing each week in this signature program. So you want to make sure that if you have been lagging behind, if you've been sick, or you just haven't been as consistent as you wanted to dial it back a little bit, because my presumption, or I assume, that each of you are doing those 3 asterisk type workouts. I know I've programmed 4 this session, but those 3 that I asked, put little stars beside. If you're doing those consistently, I assume that I'm going to just be building on to that person that's doing that. So if that isn't you, then just dial it back. And how do you dial it back? You can obviously add less load, you can do less sets, and you can take more rest intervals in between sets. So what I'm wanting for you to do, keep in mind, from A1 to AB, so supersets, I want you to go bing bing right away, no rest. So that's why it's really important to refer to the workouts maybe the day before, or the morning of, or a few minutes before you start the session, so you can have your space organized and ready, so you can be as efficient as possible. After you've done the superset, A1, A2, then I want you to take 30 seconds to a minute, maybe 90-second rest before you go ahead and do set 2. After you have done the 2 to 3, or even sometimes 3 sets of the first superset, that is when I kind of want you to take a little longer rest. Keep your phones down. When I say longer rest, it's 2 to 3 minutes at the max. Rest intervals are something I don't want you to become too obsessed with, but I do want you to make sure that you're being mindful of how much rest you're taking. We want to make sure that we're stimulating those muscles as effectively and efficiently as possible. So rest intervals are important. You don't have to be timing yourself, but you certainly don't want to be taking 5, 10, 15-minute breaks in between. The muscles will have way too much time in between the exercises to recover, and it is just going to be so much more difficult for you to reach a certain threshold for those muscles to develop strength and tone. So remember, I am now referring back to the old workouts that I have programmed for the first 4 weeks. So tomorrow you will see the live workout show up. I'm going to look at that workout, remind you to, if you've been documenting your notes, which I sure hope you have, most of you have been excellent at it. Some of you already know the weights that you're doing, that sort of thing, but I love the fact that most of you are writing other individual things, like this felt hard today, whereas last time it felt easy. Those things are really important, because you will refer back to those and be reminded about how far you've come or how much better you are. So note taking, referring back to where you once started is very important. We forget where we've started. So remember, note taking, referring back to those is an excellent way for you to see that you have yet improved. Now, some of you will say, I haven't developed much strength over the last 4 weeks. That's okay. You will. It really will depend on how effective the workouts are. That's why we continue to move and do very similar movements, like some of the meat and potato squats, deadlifts, hip thrusts, pull-ups, push-ups, those sorts of things are very consistent. The more effective we do those movements through repetitive day-to-day movements or weekly movements, the more you're going to get out of those exercises. And of course, what I'm going to do is add in the fun little movements in there, incorporate new mobility for you as well. But I really want you to now understand that now I'm progressing more intensely for those of you under my assumption that you're all getting those workouts done. So just dial it back a little if you haven't yet got into the routine of those 3 strength workouts. Yesterday in the coffee chat, a lot of us mentioned it's a little bit hard to get all the workouts in. I get it. Remember, I'm giving you a lot, way more than you need to. So those 3 strength workouts are the ones less than an hour worth of time. So I'm really asking about 3 hours worth a week will make huge improvements in the way you not only look, but how you feel, and obviously how strong you're getting. So as long as you're consistent with those, you will eventually notice improvements in strength. But of course, if you've got some shoulder issues or some elbow issues, that's going to slow the process down a little bit too. But we just have to learn to embrace the process. welcome the delays and the things that slow us down, and just know day to day we're continuing to improve as much as we can. We're all in our own journeys, and so we all have to be very patient with our individual things that are holding us back a little bit. It's just life. So that's what I wanted to talk about mostly today, is just stay consistent with those 3 workouts. I decided through that coffee chat that I'm going to sprinkle a little more mobility into the workouts, into the strength workouts, so you feel like you're also getting some of that in. I know I incorporated at the beginning already, but I just want to remind you that if you're not getting the mobility extra bonus stuff in, just do it as your rest interval. So this is what I explained yesterday in the coffee chat. Instead of just standing around and resting, you could actually do some hip mobility stuff. So instead of just standing and taking that rest, you can add some calf stretches. I often will just lean forward over the box, pull into the calves, loosen up some of that tension there. The calves are so tight. If the calves are tight, your knees are gonna feel it, your lower back's gonna feel it, it's all connected. So just think in between sets, instead of picking up your phone, being mindful as to what you could do that could help improve and make this workout even more efficient and effective if you're not able to get all the workouts in. 3 hours worth of work is all it's going to take, ladies. So keep consistent, keep pushing, and remember that I am progressing this pretty aggressively starting tomorrow. So if you're not quite getting those workouts done, just dial it back, listen to your body. If you're if you're too sore the following day, just means that you need to dial it back a little bit. If you're not feeling the workouts, then obviously you need to increase an intensity. Load is obviously the most obvious. Tempo, slowing things down, adding pulses. Yesterday or a couple days ago, I did a leg day just because I wanted to test to see what I could do after my little incident last weekend with the Pure Pharmacist thing. Anyways, if you're not following my Instagram, I won't go there. But I was actually pleasantly surprised at how well my body's responding. So that's good. But to make it harder, because I wasn't comfortable adding a big amount of weight on the bar, I added a pause at the bottom. I came up halfway, then I went back down and held it for a little longer. So those are excellent ways, other excellent ways that you can add intensity, slowing things down, being more mindful, concentrate on what muscles you're using. The more you focus on your specific movements and what muscles you're isolating, the more you're going to get out of it. I cannot stress the importance of intensity and focus. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I did post on our Facebook page the reminder of the importance of engaging those glutes and your abs throughout the day to take pressure off your sciatica, your lower back issues. So please refer to that nugget. For some reason, I just don't see where I posted it last session, but it is a very important nugget. So please refer to that. And if you have any questions, again, please never hesitate to reach out on our Facebook page. That is the best way to communicate with me, because if you have any concerns, questions, everyone is also thinking the same thing. So it's just a really easy way for me to communicate with everyone instead of one of you and then have to communicate again on another Facebook page. This is much easier. But of course, if your matter is private, I'm always here to listen via email. So you all know that. I just want to really try to encourage and remind you the importance of that community that is so important and is really going to help us, hopefully, stay consistent. So thank you once again for contributing on that page. I loved our coffee chat last week. I'm going to try to do at least 1 or 2 of those every month. Sometimes we'll just do like a live workout. Maybe one time I'll put you through an Aldoa posture. But I really enjoy like just sitting there and kind of brainstorming about what we can do to help really improve this new phase of our life. Now, not all of you are going through perimenopause. I'm very well aware of that. But we're all going through stuff in this journey of trying to be better. So the conversations, the support are awesome. So anyways, I'm gonna now go up to my laptop and get your workout done for tomorrow. I will do most of your programming and extra mobility stuff tomorrow. So tomorrow's workout will be live, but please be patient. The other ones will trickle in the next day or two. Have an awesome rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon.